Okay, I wanted to do a video of the gear that I took this weekend on what I call my light trip. It was 32 degrees out, 10-mile-an-hour wind, felt like 27. It did rain at night. I tried to go as lightweight, I'm not an ultralight camper, as I could, and still I have fire preparing material. Now in the video you see I had that little backpacker grill and my Cold Steel Trail Boss axe. I really didn't use either of those that much, could easily have done without them. When I batoned wood I used my BK11. So, and when I sawed wood I used the Gerber folding saw. So this is everything I took. 3.5 quarts of water, 2-quart Army Canteen, the 1-quart Nalgene, and the 1-pint flask, 3.5 quarts. Kind of my possibles here: first aid kit, fire starting kit, my little leather strap with emery on one cloth, leather on the other. This has some honing compound in it, as well as a little survival knife and an extra lighter, some fire starting. The Adventure Medical Kit's emergency kit, PJ cotton balls, and matches, Strike Anywhere matches, which you can still get at REI. A lot of places are saying they're really not available anymore. And their survival fishing kit. Of course, I didn't use, really any of this stuff here, but I did use all that. I'm trying to keep my knife sharp. On the bottom of my Nalgene cup is my Glacier stainless steel cup that I use to make everything. The lid here to the Glacier stainless steel cup. Somewhere is my little foldable Coghlan's rubber cup. You've seen that. I don't know where it happened. It's in here somewhere. All my food, again, pretty easy. I had that steak, but I also had some chili, Pop-Tarts, candy, beef jerky, MRE, coffee, Starbucks Via Sport. So that's all that there. Shelter. On the ground I had this little Grabber emergency heavy duty casualty blanket, Reflect on one side, that was up. I used a Mylar blanket for my feet, I didn't do that till 3 o'clock in the morning. In my USGI Gore-Tex bivy, which is right here, I had the silk bag liner. Between that and the poncho shelter I made in the little pyramid style with my trekking pole, I figured that brought up the outside temperature maybe 20 degrees. So maybe it was 50 in there. Inside I was trying to fight that, but it's 50 degrees. That's what I figured it got. Maybe not that warm, maybe only 40 degrees. It's just some utility cord, paracord. Kind of showed you how that worked. Showed you about the trekking pole, my bandana. Here's my TP, and I bring paper towel with me. That's what I clean out my food items with before I use them. I think I kind of missed my food item there. It's the Paderno baking pan, the Scotch Brite, little camp suds, and a little pot lifter. I like frying things up if I'm only going out for a night or two where I can have some fresh food. Going over here to the tools section real quickly. Aluminum stakes, part of the shelter here, right? Trekking pole. My BK11 with the little LED by Pick Mac Colhane. Fantastic. I use this to baton all my wood. It worked. A little carabiner leather strap set up here with lighter, Carmex, tweezers, thermometer, compass, hand sanitizer, fire steel, whistle, probably a little more, but I just keep that on my belt, and then this goes into my cargo pants pocket, so it's not really dangling around. The little trowel there, my Leatherman Crunch, the Phoenix LED, LD20 with the headband, fantastic light, extra set of lithium batteries, still on my first set of lithium batteries. As I said, processing my firewood, I brought my own firewood in, but I had to process it into smaller pieces. I take the 18-inch pieces and make them down into 8 or 9-inch pieces, so I cut them in half and then baton them with my BK11. Use the Gerber folding saw. This is heavy, it's about a pound, but it's a steel in frame and rubber handles, works well, it's a little heavy. Frost Mora is in here. Hat I wore all the time. This is a Mountain Hardwear wind blocker hat, fantastic, wore it all the time, right over my eyes and my whole face at night. I was all cocooned inside that USGI bivy to stay warm. At night I wore these military ex-mil SERP US Army wool mittens, fantastic. Pair of wool gloves, pair of leather gloves when I work for the fire, and when I'm just working around, I always have on these fingerless gloves. That's just me, I always have gloves on. So that's kind of all the basic kit. A couple more in the clothing area. This is clothing that I wore as well as was in my pack. Really, I wore all my clothing pretty much to bed because, you know, I didn't have a sleeping bag. So this is a cheapy Walmart vest. Wore that all the time. Wore to bed my M65 with liner. You know, kept me warm. I was surprised. My torso was perfect. I had along my rain jacket. It started raining at 3:34 in the morning. Had to get up, mess around. I don't wear it when I mess around with the big fire. I wear up the sleeves. It's an expensive jacket. Of course, it's going to get burned sometime. Wore all day, and to bed was me and my TAC 511 Pro pants with cargo pockets and knee pads. Again, wore to bed, and all day was this Pendleton wool shirt. Wore at night 3 pairs of heavy-duty merino wool hiking socks. In here this is my pillow, but there is an extra set of nylon pants, an extra pair of socks, and a wool sweater, which I did not take out of there because I needed my pillow, but that should have gone around my feet. My feet were cold. The 30-liter Traverse pack. This little 1/4-inch full-length closed cell foam pad. That's what was underneath me for the insulation. My kneeling pad, butt pad, you know, I take that with me. And then the big splurge, which I wouldn't take on a, you know, hiking 25 miles a day, but I like to stay off the ground, so I took this tripod camp stool. I always take that baby. That was weighed 2 pounds, but this wasn't an ultralight hiking trip. This was just what I call a minimalist, light gear, tested out trip. Oh, I know I went out of frame there. Sorry. So that's here's the kneeling pad, the closed cell foam pad, and my tripod chair. So that's the whole kit, everything I took, and I used just about everything other than some of the emergency supplies.